What's up, guys? Lucas still with Optimum Athletes. I'm here with Tyler Schimpf. Tyler is a Sacramento native, went to Capital Christian High School.
Cougars, baby.
Graduated in 14.
Yeah.
14. I went to Texas, right out of Capital.
Yeah.
Played there for 3 years.
I was there for 3, yeah.
3 years, and then drafted by the Giants, and you've been in the Giants organization for now 2 years, 3 years.
I'm going into my third full season, so it's
Going into
be
your third
spring
full
training
season.
number 3 for me.
Perfect. And where did you finish at last year?
I was in A-ball.
A-ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get up to AA at some point?
No, so I got called up to go and pitch in a game in High A in San Jose. It's kind of a funny story. Like, I woke up in the morning and they called me like, hey, we need you on a plane. You're flying to San Jose to pitch tonight. I show up in the 6th inning and I'm pitching in the 8th. Toss my stuff on real fast. And then I'm in the game. 8th, 9th, close it out, get the win.
There you go.
Call it a day.
Did you
Back
stay
on the
there?
plane.
Back on the plane? Just one game?
Just one game, man.
Even though you pitched well.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so in high school, what was your velo like?
High school, I'd say junior, senior year. I know going into my senior year, I topped out at 92. That's when I really decided that, maybe I am going to be a pitcher, you know? I was always a hitter.
You could swing it too.
Right. So I was always a hitter, a position guy. I loved just playing kind of everywhere, third, short, outfield, whatever you needed, I was ready to go for. And once I went and played summer ball, I was topping out at 92, and they were like, hey, man, you're going to be a pitcher. And I was like, well, I want to go to UT. That was my goal, right? I kind of was like, told them, I was like, hey, y'all, I want to go to Texas. So let's kind of do whatever we can do to get me there. And I guess pitching was the way there, you know?
Yeah.
So I showed up, and they're like, all right, dude, you're just going to pitch. I was 92 that summer going into my senior year, and then I showed up my senior year, and I was topping at, 94, 95. And I don't know, someone might have got a 6 in there, but I think that's fake. I think I hit a few 4s and 5s, but mainly I was like low 90s.
When you made that jump, do you think it was just, growing maturity, or do you think you put more time into it? What do you think you did differently?
Yeah, I mean, I had been training since I've been in 6th grade with all of my plyometrics, making sure I'm staying on top of my nutrition, my sleep, just staying in shape. And really, I dove into yoga my senior year.
Okay.
That was one thing that helped me out big time, and really just like focusing and going, I want to take this seriously, because I want to play pro ball. I want to go to college. I wanted to show my parents a degree, and I wanted to accomplish those goals, of going to my dream school. So I knew that I had to take care of my grades, all my schooling, take care of like myself with the social aspect of things, because you can get yourself into trouble there.
Oh yeah.
And then I focused on just my lifting, my stretching, my throwing, and now I look back at it, and yeah, there's things I would have done a little bit differently. Like, for example, my lifting schedule, I took that a little bit seriously because I was a basketball player. So I tried to bulk up, and it didn't help me too much now when I look back at it. But I definitely was like in good physical shape.
I mean, you're a big,
I was strong.
Right.
Right. So that's one thing I work on now is like my mobility. So I can, if anybody's out there that is like, oh, should I be lifting and stuff? I'm like, if you're gonna be lifting, make sure you're taking care of all your mobility. Like that needs to be priority. Right. Because you look at a guy like,
package.
Like, not dogging on him at all because he's a beast, but like, for example, Sam Long, not like a dude that you just see walking in pumping 400 on the bench press, and some guys you see that, and Sam's just 90 up to 97, like easy. We looked at a position he landed in yesterday, and it's just like incredible where he can get to.
Looks like he's
and that's just right, his mobility, man, and like some of us wish we had that. I'd rather have that than being able to bench press or whatever.
You've been working with Evan a lot on that, just like your arm action. We looked at when you were playing long toss the other day. You told me you had never thrown over 300 feet.
300 was kind of my max for sure.
And you threw one 330 plus, probably closer to 340. And we kind of paused it, and you had some external rotation that I don't think you've seen before.
Or not at all. Oh my goodness. And I think one of the biggest things there is, working with Evan over at Kime has been pretty incredible, and just focusing on, okay, this is what we're going to do. I had a goal of where I wanted to be. And since we set that goal, it's not like I'm just working aimlessly at my mobility. Like, no, I want to pick out a few things and know this is what I need to get better at. Right. I can't get better at every single thing right now. We have a limited time right now. But I can get better at a few things. I should be able to. And that's one of them, is working on my layback and my hip separation, And I think mentally, I think that's a new aspect of things, is like thinking about yourself mentally. When I want to focus and get better at something, a lot of times our body's able to do it. Our bodies are pretty incredible, right? When we actually get down to it. So a lot of times we're restricting ourselves mentally, right? So it's like if I want to think about, man, I need to work on more layback. Like my body can get to that position. I just got to teach it to do that, right? That's over repetition. That's over taking care of the little things, the things when people aren't watching, you know, like I'm at home running through my mobility before I go to bed or something like that, you know, not just when I'm at optimum or whatever, you know. I'm staying on top of myself, and I'm in charge of my own career at this point, so.
Yeah, I mean, we saw just a sliver of it when you kind of did an OA takeover,
right,
and you ran our story for a day, and you showed, I mean, there's a bunch of things that I consider myself a hard worker when I was playing, but I mean,
right,
I don't think I went to the lengths like you were doing. The hot tub, pool, cold tub,
right,
you were doing your yoga, you were doing your lifts, throwing, like eating right, like there's, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 layers to this. It's not just, oh, I'm going to crush the lift and call it a day.
Yeah.
So being on top of all those little things, obviously, like they seem like, oh, maybe it's too much work or whatever, but obviously you're seeing the benefits.
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff really just, when it comes down to when the lights turn on, you know, you have confidence in that point because you took care of all the little things like that.
Right.
You know, you've set your routine, and that's one of the most important things, especially in pro ball. I mean, in high school, wherever you're at right now, it's really important. We were just talking about it out there. You have to have a routine down, and you have to know what your plan is going into it. Otherwise, you're really just, I mean, what are you working for, you know?
Right.
And are you taking this seriously? Like, is this really what you want to do? Do you want to just show up every day and just go through what everybody else is going through? Or are you going to be the guy that's, man, I got my routine dialed, right? I'm so focused on it. I'm going out of my way to do extra things. You know, I'm getting my sleep, my nutrition, all that stuff is so important. And for a while, I was like, I'm just going to go off of my athletic abilities, whatever. But no, I realized, like, especially now in pro ball, being in there for going into my third year and talking to guys that are just unreal athletes and been doing it all in big leaguers, they all have a routine. They take this seriously, you know, and when the lights turn on, it gives you the confidence.
Yeah.
No, it really does. I mean, yeah, it's go time. It's like
when
man,
you know you've done everything.
Yeah, that's when the fun. Like that's fun. I really enjoy the process of it all. Like I do enjoy waking up, cold tub, hot tub, get my day going. Like I enjoy all those little things, you know, taking care of my mobility or eating right or planning this out right. That's fun. Like you gotta love every aspect of it, you know. And then we just get the joy of getting to play baseball and throw a baseball or hit a baseball, or, you know, striking dudes out or hitting bombs or whatever it is. Like we gotta enjoy that, you know.
Definitely. Just kind of really quick. You were drafted out of high school, right?
Yep.
Now we saw obviously you got the trainer list. Kevin Gowdy was drafted out of high school, had a scholarship at UCLA, and went to pro ball. Worked out for him.
Right.
Obviously, he's great. You on the other side decided to go to college, so obviously the decision depends on the person. Kind of like,
sure.
How do you kind of navigate that? What's your advice for someone that maybe is a high school senior that's kind of going to school or draft or?
Man, there's so much ways you can look at it, but like one, everybody's got their own path. You know, like you have to realize that you have your own path to the big leagues or to college or wherever that is. You can't compare yourself one to other people. Now, looking back at it, I'm so grateful for having the opportunity to go to Texas and to do that and experience college because I grew and matured and went through things and met some friends there that are my best friends. Like to this day, I've got some really close friends and I was really just thankful to meet. And man, you know what? I talk to my mom and my family about this all the time is I wanted to show her a degree from Texas. Sure. I want to show her a college degree. Like no matter what, my dad always told me, like I can do anything I want, but nobody can take a degree away from me. Like once I have that, no one can take it away from me. With that being said, there are certain times where it is okay to look into going out of high school. That is okay. Like you said, you know, he had success with it. That's fine.
Right.
It wasn't in my cards at the time. Like I just was so focused on, I want to go to college.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with going to college. There's nothing wrong with going out of high school, you know, but as long as one, you take care of your schooling, you take that stuff seriously because once you go, say you get drafted out of high school, they take care of you, right? They will give you a allotted amount to go to school, right?
Right.
You know, it's awesome. You can take care of that. You focus on your baseball right now if that's more important. Some guys I've met in pro ball, they all have their own situation. Some guys went to junior college, which has been a great opportunity for them because one year our first let's see here, almost 6 round picks were all out of junior college. And they signed for 500 plus or whatever that was. And it worked out for them. They were there for a year. They were there for 2 years. Some guys they just went straight out of high school. And you could tell the difference in guys that went out of high school versus guys who coming out of pro ball or junior college.
More mature.
More maturity, yeah. Some guys have the maturity when they're that young, which is awesome. They get to hang out and they can talk and just talk shop or whatever. And you could tell, like, okay, he's got it, But some guys are just a little bit immature.
It depends on the guy. Really.
It definitely depends on your situation, But there's scouts will try to talk you out of going to college or whatever, or maybe they won't, So you got to be able to really make that decision and go, this is what's best for me right now.
Taking all the info.
This is what's going to be best for me, right? Because you can make it no matter where you go. I've got guys who get drafted, who go undrafted out of college, and then become free, then they get signed and they get picked up, and then they're in the big leagues, Or guys who go to a junior college who get same kind of thing, You got guys who come out of high school who go first round who don't make it. It's just
definitely.
It's all your journey, and you got to take advantage of it every opportunity and just grind, man.
Perfect. All right, just to finish up, what pitches do you throw? Let's see those grips. Any cues you got or any advice for people sitting at home?
Yeah, I throw my main pitch is my four seam. I mean, my thing is just like mentally when I get up there, when I know I got my four seam, no matter what else I have, here it is. Like, here's my fastball. Let's go. That's what I'm four seam fastball. I played around with the two seam and everything, but I really have just been like four seam. I get the most spin rate, and I can just feel like I can gear up.
Don't touch the thumb though.
Yeah, so I don't tuck my thumb.
I never did either.
Mine's more comfortable here. Yeah. I've messed around with it, and I threw over the backstop. So typically I stay away from that. I know some guys, they say you get more spin rate and more whatever. I think it's just a feel thing,
Oh yeah.
So I don't tuck my thumb on my four seam, but that's pretty much it for me. One thing I will say, one quick tip is, when I first got in the drive line, I was throwing my plyos, and for me, I started gripping the baseball a little bit tighter without realizing it. I wasn't conscious of it. My finger started slipping up, and until I saw a video of myself doing it, I was like, I'm basically throwing a changeup. Like, that's cutting 2 miles an hour off of it because I was used to squeezing the plyos, and naturally my finger wanted to creep up. So now I just have to remind myself, keep my finger down.
Crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's one of the things my buddy and I he pointed out to me.
Stay loose with it
and just stay loose, and just kind of let it go,
Yeah.
And then my next pitch, I say this is one of my out pitches is definitely my 12-6 curveball.
It's gross.
I've always thrown a spike, and I just had really good feel for it. So
horseshoe in.
Yeah, I typically just go across I flip over my two seam, go across this side, and pull down with this seam right here, and then I just set it in my thumb and get comfy with that, and just feel it out front here and try to pull down with this finger, and I throw the seam as hard as I can. I just let it eat. And then I go my changeup. I go more of a two-seam changeup, so I'm here on the inside of this seam like I'm throwing a two-seam, but I just turn my fingers over and I go middle finger on this left seam. And I split this seam right here, and then I can kind of get this down in my palm, and I just roll it over like this, and trying to just throw. I just try to throw down. I don't really think pronate the heck out of it. I just try to throw this thing through my catcher, right?
Perfect.
And just if I'm gonna miss, just miss down with it. That's really what I try to do right now.
Leave it up.
And the other thing though with changeups, I feel like sometimes what I've noticed is, you want a left-hander, you want to go arm side if I'm a righty, but sometimes it's okay if you maybe cut it a little bit. It's nasty, a little cut change in there. It's okay. And I've always
surprises the hitter.
I can only throw these changeups that just fade, and I'm like, maybe sometimes it's okay if it cuts a little bit, or it's just really about the speed difference.
Yeah.
It's really what I had to tell myself, and not so much I want all this movement on my changeup. I was just like, man, got this fastball. I just want something that's 10 miles an hour slower and kind of nasty. So, but that's really important. I talk to any professional, any of our coaches, right? Any of our managers or whatever, any of these guys that have been in the big leagues, they're like, dude, the changeup is the hardest pitch for us to hit. So learn how to throw a changeup. And if you have that in your arsenal, you're good. Yeah. You are absolutely good. And then I throw my slider. I picked this up in pro ball. I didn't throw it in college, but my slider's right here. Mm-hmm. One of my buddies taught it to me, and I just ran with it, and I love it. It's a good show pitch.
What's your cue on that?
My cue is I actually envision. I do a lot of visualization. And I will sit there and I like literally will just tell myself I can see my slider out of my hand, right? I could see the break, and I think like obviously I get out here with it, right, and just pull this thing down, and I just try to throw this thing honestly as hard as I can, right? And sometimes when I'm missing with it, I just go for that hitter. If he's a righty, I just go for his hip. I'll throw that thing. I'm like, if it hits him, it hits him. It's fine. But I've never hit him with it, and this thing just it does what it needs to do. And if it comes this out a little bit, that's fine for me. More of a show pitch for me right now, you know. And just try to tunnel all those and go off of everything, you know. So
sweet.
That's it for me.
Perfect. Thank you, man.
No
Good
worries.
luck this year.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.